All right. Take number 2. So I'm out here in another part of my family's land, and I say a family in the sense of like my uncle had brought me out here a couple of times on my own. And then this is the first time that I've ever been out here on my own. The ideology too is that I can get away from things, and or I can get away from people in general, and really be involved in the notion of really taking in what Mother Nature is. Through a lot of my workings, when I say workings, through a lot of my journaling, a lot of the videos that I had posted up as well, and all of my artistic projects, all of the programming that I've ever done, or things of that nature, had spoken in regards to making it's not necessarily the Great Escape, but I left quite a bit. I left quite a bit to be here. And with that being said, I just wanted to really acknowledge essentially I wanted to acknowledge the fact that not only could it be done, but how tranquil or how fucking stress free the world really is. And I'm out here in the sense of really not only finding out my foundational blocks, but also understand other types of living. It's really simple, just the pure basics, literally, which is food, water, shelter, and just the amount of dealings that I have put myself through, all of my workings and things of that nature. So um a lot of that has been essentially tossed out the window, and a lot of that has been tossed out the window, leaving me with my very basics. And here within this rural town, or it's this really small town in the middle of a tropical jungle, has definitely taught me quite a bit already. I've been here for a solid 3 months, and part of that as well comes in with the folks that I'm living with at the moment. And so seeing what their ambitions are, what their struggles are, um, has really made me more attuned to what might be going on within me. And subconsciously, consciously, what I'm aware of, what I'm not aware of, definitely comes into play. Being attuned with Mother Nature, the machine, the algorithm, and then also myself, and how I'm essentially taking all these things in, um, is quite the feat. And I say feat is in the sense of like what the human mind can definitely partake in, and create not only for yourself, but also for the folks around you, and for the systems around you. So I really want to just kind of really cherish that idea and add this onto whatever my channel is, or that one outlet, so that I can showcase the fact that there are so much more items that are included within whatever it is that we may be doing. For myself, being involved in so many things within the actuality of my life, and then also all of the values. I tried religion for a little bit out here, as well as being integrated into the culture. Um, and one of the outcomes that kind of provided me with that is gathering all of my paperwork as far as my documentation here within Mexico. And then that's also uh how would I put it, is the ideology that I can essentially um have as far as my signature is concerned is I had put in my signature. The signature that I have for all of my artwork is now part of my identification card here within Mexico. And that in itself was quite, how would I put it? Just put more things into perspective. Really enjoying the fact of who I am, what I am, what stayed, and the idea of letting all of my possessions go, and also putting myself in a state of mind where it really tested a lot of my values, a lot of my workings, a lot of my foundational values, a lot of my practices as well, and how to go about explaining that to those folks around me. And so sitting here now and being able to see where I'm at and seeing this plotted land, it's massive. It's a massive plotted land, and the fact that my family gets into the whole idea of farming, and the different positions that my family has within this town. A lot of the notions of where I might be coming from, who I may be coming from, has really been or becoming more apparent. And um, it just allows me to be deeply rooted of where I come from, who I come from, and then also the state of mind where my family is currently living in, and how that's affecting me overall. But it's one of those things where I'm glad that I'm doing these. It took me quite a bit to really state where I'm at as far as mentally is concerned, where my body's at, and then where I'm at, and how I'm being involved in all these things without wanting to be involved. And it puts it's a great perspective of like what life is, how life is, and the notions of how to go about living my life, the foundational items. And I say foundational items because it's extremely rural out here. I had spoken in regards to the amount of violence that this town specifically is enduring, and then how that affects not only my family per se, but also the town, and how the town is essentially kind of like acting towards that. And what I've experienced here as well, trying to bring in my programming and or the ways of helping others or helping students or kids or whatever that notion has really like gone out the window. And a lot of that programming or pedagogy or things of that nature is being heavily tested. Just my mannerisms of who I am, how I go about reacting and or not reacting to whatever may be going on out here, and just becoming more aware, definitely more aware and in tune. So I'll speak on Mother Nature and all her great essence out here. I had spoken in regards to that if you take care of Mother Nature will definitely take care of you. And there's been a lot of specific items, such as like this farmland where you can plant as much as you like or harvest as much as you like if you put in the work to be able to do that. And then this whole idea of like money trees is like you can literally grow anything and everything out here in this beautiful soil, this vibrant soil. And then the whole idea of cleansing. Um, so one of my goals was to essentially travel to the midst of like some jungle setting or what have you, and then um, essentially meet like a guru or meet like a curandero or curandera with an A, and or a healer, things of that nature. And so I've been happily blessed with my great grandma, who I'm pretty sure is like 200 plus years old or what have you. And so the notion of essentially how long she's lived for and how she's lived that long are essentially great ways and mannerisms of being able to kind of like not only take in that knowledge but also pass that knowledge on. And so I've learned a lot from this individual, and by all means, like, this individual doesn't even have to say much, and I can definitely read that. One of the goals was to essentially have this person let me know that I'm a healer or a curandero of my own or of some sorts or what have you. And so I've definitely taken on that idea or that identity for sure. And the first couple of weeks was to definitely cleanse whatever might be going on, and or also this idea of a parasite. So when I say parasite, it's like the mind is carrying a lot of ill, and um, in regards to all the workings that I have had, all the mindset settings, and or also all this notion of being able to clear that mindset so that it can properly grow in its own and or also facilitate its own ideas for growth and movement forward or wherever it is that they would like to go, wherever like I like to go, has been a blessing. It's been a great blessing. And so I've completed that idea, and being able to be seen as such and or to be felt as such. Um, and then my workings as well. Also had early on, I've had the idea of being able to not only escape the life that I'm at, but it's like the wizard's escape, great escape. And or one of my greatest tricks was that notion of leaving and or disappearing. And so you're partly seeing that notion of being able to grow, my long ass beard, or being able to look like a mountain man out here. And so um, on top of that, I've been able to say that I've completed that notion of what I wanted to accomplish and or certain things that I wanted to accomplish. So I'm like hearing, I'm in the middle of nowhere. Um, and so it's quite the notion of, and it's quite the feat of the mind as well, where I have created that for myself. I've created this notion of being able to say that I can, properly go in and facilitate a consultation or being able to deal with anyone and everyone and put them on a different mindset so that they're able to not only personally grow but also have the strategic items and or also the strategic items and or the tools to be able to create anything and everything that they have ever wanted to create. It does take time, and that's something that I've learned here with Mother Nature is like persistence for sure. Persistence for sure. And then that's crazy. That's awesome. Persistence for sure, and then also patience. Just the different types of patience that you definitely need to have as an individual in order to go from one place to another. And that's been one of my goals for sure. And so I feel like I've gotten that notion of being able to call myself that and or also have that story behind or being able to support that ideology that I have come into people's lives and created a clusterfuck in the sense of having them understand who they are, what they are, while in the same sense also growing alongside myself. Um, and so I've been definitely taking a solid listen to not only what's been going on with me internally, um, and really taking the absolutes and writing those down. Also, this idea of dream journals and or the idea of being able to communicate whatever I may be going through. And I only kept one journal. And I've been writing quite a bit within that journal, and then also really utilizing all the outlets that I have available through the machine or my phone. And I'm pretty blessed to have quite a quite a phone that I can do quite a bit on. And so I've been doing that as well. My music has been a huge part. My music has been a huge part of that dealing and or also being able to see what I can and can't do or things of that nature. And patience is definitely a virtue. The idea of not being able to not having my workings and or my documents to be able to return to wherever I came from, and that in itself is a slow process, but eventually it'll be completed where I would be able to return to wherever the fuck that I came from. But with that being said, I just wanna really showcase that idea of like um I really want to showcase that idea of whatever I have said, whatever I've written down, whatever values and or items I have been able to complete. And with that being said, I'm not sure where I'm not sure where I'm gonna be ending up in, how I'm gonna be ending up there, and things of that nature. But I definitely trust the process. I definitely, for sure, trust the process, and um, I'm extremely grateful for what I do have and how that came about. And I've been extremely well taken care of. The monetary sense is I have no income, but I have everything that I need and or can ask for anything that I need. And so that also makes me extremely aware of like where my family might be coming from, their ties to this like town, their ties to essentially what might be going on within its networks. And overall it's the notion that whatever I have said, I have created, whatever I've written down has come about. And also the idea of loving myself accordingly, loving myself appropriately, and also taking a look at my own relationships, not only with my family, with my specific partners and or all of my partners, to be honest. Like, they've been all coming to mind in the sense of what I've created for them, and how I've affected and or impacted not only them, their way of being, their way of thinking, their way of feeling. But it really puts things into perspective as far as who I am, how I go about working with people or being with people or loving them or things of that nature. And so it's becoming a lot more gentler. It's becoming a lot more gentler, and I think for the most part, it's becoming a lot more gentler with myself. I do work extremely hard, and or I love very hard, or I care very hard, or um, I'm very, in a sense, absolute when it comes to my pedagogy, meaning that it's ever changing, and I hate absolutes because things always change and things of that nature. But I've come to understand the foundational items of where I come from, who I come from, and also becoming a lot more aware of that. So with that being said, I'm literally in the middle of a fucking jungle. Like, That's the main point. Like, then it's literal reality is like I'm in the middle of a fucking jungle, and no one can fucking come in and tell me how to love, how to care for someone. No one can fucking how I do it. They can always come and like let me know how they want to be loved or cared for or things of that nature. Um, but I've come to that notion of like no one can fucking tell me what I need and what I want and how I can go about getting those things or what have you. It's like um it is definitely a defined process, and it's it's something that I've come to love and care for very much. And with that being said, like again, I'm in literally a fucking jungle in the middle of a fucking third world country where like fun fact, it's like this is home to fucking jaguars. Like there is like an immense amount of wildlife out here, and it really goes into how you go about taking care of not only those around you but also this land, and how you go about taking care of yourself, the folks around you, and a lot of that is story based. As in like story based is like there's still a lot of people here who are relying on their information of like word of mouth, you know, like mouth word, or it's a lot of storytelling out here. And so with that being said, I just want to say thank you very much. I love and care for you, and regardless of what this may look like, how it may feel, please understand that you have everything that you need, or will ever have what you need. um I've contemplated a lot of ill, and I contemplated a lot of good, bad, or anything in between, or on that spectrum, or what have you, and being able to try and explain that to others, and or also the sense of what you see, how you feel, what you're reading out there, and what you're not reading, and also all of the skill based sets that you have, all the experiences that you have are definitely uniquely to you, but there is a sense of other people also experiencing that with you. And so I think just the humility of being able to recognize that, and recognize others for where they're at and their potential of what they could be doing, um over exceeds absolutely any of that. The fact that you're still fucking doing these things, the fact that you're still working on your art, and or trying to do your expressions, and or also listening to whatever it is that you're listening to be able to nourish all of that. So um yeah. And let me put it like this. Let me speak to Antonio directly. Antonio, for fuck's sake, man. For fuck's sake, take a look. Take a fucking look at where you're at, man. Take a fucking look at the things you can do, and fucking please, for fuck's sake, take a look at what you can't do. And as much as we're trying out here to not only save yourself from whatever, okay, it's all those things play a big role, man. So wherever you may be, whatever it is that you're getting yourself into, for fuck's sake, take a look, man, and really enjoy where you're at while you have it. So, with that being said, I just want to say thank you to Mother Nature, giving me the space, give me the attention with all its creatures and all its fucking vastness and its fucking void. That is Mother Nature and its ferociousness. This idea of nature, nurture, and all its due timing. Then comes the machine and its algorithm, being able to showcase not only my music, my art, and all its possibilities, all its cool ideas, And then overall, man, like, thank you so much for taking care of yourself. Food, water, shelter, and then staying cleansed overall, and ridding over and over this parasite, which by all means, it will always be part. And the idea of finding yourself balanced and well accumulated, balanced, well accumulated, and still walking that fine line between sanity and insanity. It's like you need both of those things to survive in order to be aware. And so to be able to handle whatever you're handling at the moment in the way that you're handling it and still producing all these beautiful ideas of expression. I fucking love you. I fucking care for you. Please fucking let me know if there's absolutely anything that you will ever need. And let's get back, because it's getting kind of late. It's not getting late, but the idea is that you want to be home by sundown. So thank you. And then I'll showcase a little bit of where I'm at, and then I'll finish up the video. So thank you.